Welcome to The Money Hour with host Tina Mitchell and co-host Keelan Harvey. Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, and MLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the following program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC. Now, in the studio, local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome to the Money Hour on 1150 a.m. KKNW, the Saturday, August 17th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, and I am flying solo today. My co-host, Keelan Harvey, is recovering from surgery, so wishing him thoughts and a safe recovery. We are your local mortgage experts, bringing in expert advice and inside knowledge on today's events and how the economy can affect your money. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show today. Please call 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150. or online at themoneyhour.com. And the lineup for the show today, we have Celine, Anelone, Brozovich of Dances with Foods, and today is all about health and productivity. Great information and great guest in studio. For more information on any topic discussed, please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And we'll start out today, each show, or as we do each show, with a little bit of money chat.
Money.
Today I thought I would bring in just a little conversation around possible low appraisals, whether this is a purchase that you're going through or a refinance. You'll see it a lot more on a refinance because you're not having two real estate experts that are letting you know what the value of the property is. And what I would say for any of my listeners that are refinancing, just make sure that you're doing your due diligence to put everything together regarding your home. If you have comparables that you know have sold in your immediate area, just having those ready for the appraiser can help out. Now, low appraisers can happen. They can happen subtly when you're in the middle of a purchase transaction, and the bank is only going to fund your loan based on the appraised value. So you have three choices here, options that you can do. You can walk away from the sale. That is always your option as long as you haven't waived your appraisal contingency, which you want to make sure that you're discussing that with your agent on making sure that you have that contingency in there unless you choose to waive it. You can just come up with the difference if you want to. So if your appraised value came in $20,000 low and you want to come in with the additional $20,000, you can do that. Now, in some situations, depending on your down payment, if you're coming in with a 20% down, you'll still be able to purchase that home and do a lower down payment and not have to come in with any additional funds. There's some really creative financing around there. As your local mortgage expert here and your host of the Money Hour, you can feel free to call the show and I can walk you through that, what that would look like for you. Or you can do a combination, or the seller can pay the difference. Or you can do a combination. So maybe you're giving up a little bit, the seller's giving up a little bit. So it just really goes back to negotiation. Now, I thought about to share some of the reasons on why an appraisal might come in low. The appraiser doesn't have to do a neighborhood drive-by. So to appraise the value of the property, appraisers really rely heavily on the comps, which are prices paid by similar homes sold recently. You can't use property or multiple offers that are coming in. Those aren't used as actual comps. You can't use ones that are pending. It's ones that have actually closed. But the appraiser could select comps of homes that sold for mysteriously low prices. Now, you may say, why would they pick from those comps? Is because if there's other comparables that are for a lower price, they have to be able to utilize in a mix of what's available out there for them to pull from. Now, appraisers don't normally officially inspect the comps, typically never, but they wouldn't know if there might be mold issues. Maybe there was a nasty divorce that came up, and so they just really sold that property quickly. And some of these things can really throw off the value or the numbers for the home that you're looking at. Another reason the appraiser has to go outside of the neighborhood. So sometimes there isn't enough data on sales and similar homes in your area, forcing the appraiser to use comps from nearby or possibility less desirable communities. Ideally, comps should be similar in size, style, location, and view. So if an appraisal comes in low, you do always have the option to go through the appeal process to come up with other comps. If you see that the appraiser might have missed those comps, just know that there's going to be adjustments on appraisal, and there should be adjustments based on the community is less desirable, but that can affect the value. Another is the importance of view. So does your home have a knockout view, or at least one that's better than the comp that is being used that is across the street but overlooks unsightly power lines? If so, make sure that your appraiser knows it and is looking at all of those different options that may not be necessarily something that he picked up on, he or she. Gorgeous basement. The house has a large, beautiful finished basement with a bedroom and a bathroom, and you have double square footage of your home. Unfortunately, the appraisers are required to use much lower value per square footage for space below ground, so that might be a little bit of a surprise to you. The extras that totally sold you but aren't selling the appraiser. So surprisingly, pools, tennis courts, high-end landscaping, other attractive features, they may not be able to be used in increasing that price of the property. Again, they'll be noted and it'll have some type of adjustment, but it may not be enough adjustment based on what you're willing to pay for the home because of those extra amenities that are there. Next is the condo is the best one in the building. Upgrades and finishes might not always boost the value of the home, but it makes it more appealing to you, which means that you're willing to pay a higher price for that. The appraiser has to pick comps that are within that condo complex. Unless there isn't any that have been sold recently, then and only would they be able to go outside of the complex. The market is too hot to keep up with it. This is another reason we're not dealing with this as much as now. It is still definitely a seller's market. We are not in a balanced market yet, and definitely not a buyer's market. But it's not as crazy as it has been because we have more comps or more properties that are available. So home prices in the area might be increasing so quickly that the comps that sold 6 months ago don't yet reflect the improvement, and prices are soaring and the properties are selling for record price per foot. That can be an issue as well. Next is you intentionally overpaid for the property. There are many reasons why you might personally decide to do this. You just really want the home. It's your dream home. It's in the best location that you found. You've been looking forever. It's the perfect school district. It's got that perfect park that means a lot to you, whatever that reason is. But your reason to be willing to pay over market price has nothing to do with the appraiser's opinion. So you may see a low value there. The appraiser's inexperienced or just has a bad appraisal. Sometimes that happens, and that's, again, why it's so important that if it's a purchase that your real estate agents are both providing comps to the appraiser. And worst case, again, if something happens and they miss them, you can go through the appeal process. Now, down payment percent, I recently heard a local industry leading appraiser speak at an event, and he stated something that was really surprising for me. I've been in the mortgage industry for over a quarter of a century, and I've never heard this or realized it, but it is actually the case because I reached out to some of my appraisers and asked them. And it's just something that, it's one of those behind the scenes things that you don't really know what's affecting the appraiser's opinion or what he or she has to be looking at. If you're coming in with a lower down payment, like a down payment assistance or a 3% or even maybe a 5% down, and you're competing, there's multiple offers that are coming in with 20, 30% down payment. And you happen to escalate that price and you're the highest price out of all of those offers. The appraiser has to consider that when coming up with value. And the reason why, which makes sense when you hear it, is you as a low down payment buyer may have been forced in the offer process to pay a higher price than any of the other offers to get your offer accepted because your offer is not as strong as a high down payment. So in order for you to compete, you're having to pay higher for that price. Well, if there's comps out there, comparable sales that support that price, you're okay. But if there's not, that is going to have a big impact on whether that value is going to come in at value or low. So again, for additional information or if you're having any appraisal issues, feel free to call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. Coming up next on The Money Hour, health and productivity with Celine, Anelone, Brozovich of Dances with Foods, right here at 1150 a.m. KKNW after this short break.
Would you like to make a real difference for local individuals and families that are struggling with poverty, homelessness, abuse, and violence? Assistance League of the East Side is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization that works to improve the lives of our neighbors every day. With your generosity, we can help individuals and families right here in our community through our philanthropic programs, including Operation School Bell. This year, Operation School Bell has provided 3,500 local children in need the opportunity to shop for new clothes, shoes, and coats. This helps them focus on learning, and they go to school with more confidence. To learn more about how you can become a volunteer with our organization or make a tax-deductible donation, visit aleastside.org.
Do you feel like you are overpaying for your insurance? Not sure if your coverages will protect you in the event of an accident? Mason Mackey with Pacific Northwest Insurance helps families like yours find the right insurance coverage at the best possible price. Mason has helped hundreds save money on their insurance needs while offering a superior level of service.
Hi, this is Mason with Pacific Northwest Insurance. To learn more about my practice, call me at 425-828-7877 or reach me online at pnorthwest.com. Again, that's 425-828-7877 or online at pnorthwest.com.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, August 17th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, flying solo. My co-host, Keelan Harvey, is not here today, so I'll be the one directing the show all on my own. We are your local mortgage experts. It's a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is about, how to make money, how to save money so that you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but I'm here to answer any questions or connect you with the amazing guests that I have on the show today. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And in studio today, I have Celine Anelone Brozovich. And she is with Dances of Foods. And today we're going to be talking about health and productivity. Thank you so much, Celine, for joining us today.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, and a little bit about Celine. Leveraging more than 25 years in international experience as thought of operations leader in high technology and healthcare IT, and her lifelong passion for healthy living, Celine created Dances with Foods. Dances with Foods is a health and productivity business. She has made it her mission to turn the statement, "Employees are number one resource," into win-win reality for both the employer and the employees. She has a strong drive to transform her empathy for her customers into actionable and sustainable winning strategies for people transitioning to new lifestyle. Celine is People Change Management Certified, an accredited facilitator for Complete Health Improvement Program, a Diabetic Prevention Program, lifestyle coach for the CDC National, and a hold of Whole Foods plant-based certification from ecornell and nutrition studies, and is a member of ACLM. Well, definitely in your bio, Celine, you are certified to be talking about healthy food and healthy eating habits, and I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Tina. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. And if you listen, I wish you could see her because she is just strikingly beautiful inside and out. But when you listen to her accent, it's going to be a fun conversation with her today. So Celine, let's go ahead and start out with, you are trained as an engineer. So how did you get in the health and wellness from engineer?
You mentioned accent. The accent comes from speaking French.
Do
I have your full attention now?
Yes, you definitely do.
Let's have a conversation. Yes, I have a Master's of Science in Electrical Engineering, and I have an MBA. I have worked 25 years in corporate America in high tech. My last job as a director for customer success for a Fortune 10 company, I worked long hours.
Yeah.
I love that job. I was working 60, 80, sometimes 100 hours a week.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, I was not sleeping.
Yeah.
I was traveling. I was not eating good food. I was not taking care of myself.
Yeah.
The inevitable happened, a massive burnout. Massive burnout. The depression kicked in and took over. I spent 2016 between my bedroom and the kitchen. Couldn't function. It couldn't go forever that way.
Yeah.
I did my research and run into lifestyle medicine. And we'll talk about that later. I applied the principle. I lost weight. I regained my health. After that, I decided I was not going to stay silent. I am going to share this information with anybody who is willing to listen, especially people who are working in the corporate world, who are so in love with the job that they're forgetting about themselves. There is help for you, and you can do it on your own term.
Yeah, and so well said. It's so important. I mean, number one, you do have to have a balanced life. There's going to be times that you're grinding and you're spending more time in your career and building your business, but you can't sustain it if you're working 80, 100 hours a week. And some weeks you might do that, but then you've got to take another week to where you're going to slow it down. And so I love that you share that. And if you notice a trend with the guests that I have in studio that have really powerful messages and powerful businesses that they're doing and make a difference in the world, I always love finding out the why behind it, because the most successful and the most passionate in their space, there's a story behind why they're doing what they're doing. And now they're so excited to be able to share it with the world. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Celine. So I love that. So let's talk about what is lifestyle medicine.
Lifestyle medicine. Wonderful. Thank you, Tina. This is a scientifically and evidence-based form of medicine. You have a lot of published research on lifestyle medicine. What is it? At the end of the day, your chronic diseases are based on what you put in your mouth in terms of foods, alcohol, drugs, smoking, and even gossip. What you put in your mind in terms of stress, lack of forgiveness, lack of some kind of spiritual practice, and what you do with your body in terms of exercise and even protecting your skin when you are out there. Managing all this properly with your primary care physician and embracing the best of alternative medicine, you can restore your health. The beauty of lifestyle medicine is the fact that we do not shy away from the primary doctor. You work with your primary doctor in partnership. And if yours, by the way, doesn't understand anything about it, send them to me. There is Dr. Kevin Clay at Providence who will be more than happy to help them. And there is also the ACLM, the American College for Lifestyle Medicine, who will train your primary physician to understand that for your chronic diseases, the answer are not always in the pills, but could be in your lifestyle.
Yeah, and when I sat down to talk with you and just really dived in deep of what you're doing and how you're helping, and I believe that a lot of people out there are taking so many things that they don't need to be taking, and they're taking alternative in medicine when they really all they need to do is have a better lifestyle. And I love how you brought in gossip, because if you are gossiping, that means that you're in a bad space. Because people that are not in a bad space, they're in a great space. They're not gossiping. They're not bringing that negativity into them. So yeah, it's your mind. It's everything you're thinking about. So obviously the food that you're bringing into your body is going to have a huge impact on your health. So let's talk about the food. What type of food are you talking about?
Food is a big part of lifestyle medicine. And in the lifestyle medicine environment, when we talk about food, we talk about whole food, plant-rich nutrition. We want you to eliminate or get away from the processed food, the oil, the sugar, to decrease or eliminate, if at all possible for you, the animal protein, the dairy, and to embrace food, whole food, yummy food. And what I tell my customer is, as you're learning how to eat more legumes, vegetables, fruits, and grain, learn about the spices and the herbs. Yeah. It's unbelievable how you can turn a very bland dish into a delicacy by using herbs and spices.
Yeah. So, Celine, it's common to hear about wellness. What is it with health and productivity?
Thank you very much, Tina. This is a powerful question. Here is where the engineering is coming into play here. Voilà. Here is the logic. We all say employee are our number one asset.
Yes.
Statement. When you look at the research from the Institute for Health and Productivity Management, they say that employees who are in very poor health self-report a 46% loss in productivity.
Yeah.
We also know it's a fact that 80% of the doctor's visits are for chronic diseases. The science also has shown that lifestyle medicine could help you prevent and or reverse chronic diseases. The math is very simple. Healthy employees means high productivity, means an impact on your bottom line, higher profitability. So the link between health and profitability and productivity is very, very clear.
Yes. And if you have an employee that's healthy, they're going to be creating the mindset of other employees that are around them because of the space that they're in. And so that's going to actually have a ripple effect in other employees. It's also going to be great for retention, because happy employees, if you're not happy and you're not healthy, you may think it's because of the environment and the work, but really it's within yourself. And so, it'll help in retention. So I love how you're bringing this all together. So, I know that you have 25 years experience in the corporate world. What are you bringing with you from that field of high tech into your strategy?
A few things, and I'll highlight 3 of them for you.
Okay.
Process engineering. With that, I created what I call culinary remix, where when I work with you, I look at the food that you enjoy today and I remix it using healthy ingredient to turn it into something that is healthy and tasty. It has to be good, remember. The second thing that I bring on the table is this ability that I've had to work with senior management. When I do all my project, any change in any corporation starts with the CEO, but you need to have a very strong buy-in of middle management.
Yes.
To the last employee. So that navigating between all those layers in the corporate environment, it's something that I have done, and I bring that into my new practice. And the final thing that I bring that is fairly powerful is people change management. At the end of the day, it is about change. And change is a process. I follow in the ADKAR model that calls about awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. And I focus on the ability.
Yeah.
The definition of ability is very powerful. The possession of the skills to act so you can change. And I do that different ways. When it comes to food, you don't do that over the phone. I'll come to you or you come to me. We'll do the food together. So you get to see it, you get to touch it, you get to smell it, and then you get to taste it and enjoy it.
I'm sure everybody can taste it, smell it, and enjoy it by just listening to you explain it. Love it. And, I was at an event with you, and that's where we first met, and why I just had to have you here on the show, and actually have you here for the entire show, which is very unique because normally we have 3 guests in here. And you did a remix, and it was just a short period of time that you had with us, and did a remix of Ketchup. And I tell you, that whole entire room was like, oh my gosh, this was so good. And so, you have to be naturally a creative and artistic person as well in order to be doing all of this. Yes, Celine?
I would say I love to eat. That is the French part of my education. And I also was in the corporate world. I didn't have a lot of time. So I understand that from the people. So I focus on things that could be done quickly.
Yes.
Nobody should spend hours in the kitchen to get something that is healthy, and nobody has to become a French chef to do something that is healthy. So I combine that and the fact that I'm extremely practical in what it is that I do.
Yeah, so great. So before we go to commercial, I just want to ask you one last question. Let's talk for just a couple minutes on your approach.
My approach is very simple. 3 steps. I assess, I educate, and I empower and support. That's it. We can talk more in detail about each one of those steps.
That's a great way to end our segment here. So coming up next on the Money Hour, health and productivity with Celine, Anelone, Brozovich of Dances with Foods. Right here on 1150 AM, KKNW, after this short break.
Are you a homeowner in a condo community? Do you want to see the value of your home increased year over year? Do you wish your HOA had more money in reserves? Do you wish your property manager would respond to a simple email and phone call? Jebediah and his team at On Point Real Estate have assisted over 200 condo owners increase their property values with their high level of customer service and attention to detail. On Point manages over 20 acres of real estate in King County. Jebediah and the On Point Real Estate team is an award-winning real estate firm receiving the King County Small Business of the Year Award, Emerging Leader Awards, and the City of Seattle Human Rights Business Leader Award.
Hi, I'm Jebediah Gardner, owner of On Point Real Estate. You can call me at 206-623-1844 or email me at jsg@onpoint-properties.com.
Do you need diversity in your investment portfolio? Real estate can be a very solid investment, and Seattle is one of the strongest real estate markets in the country. The secret to making wise decisions is having a proven real estate investment expert by your side. Holly Furin of Lynn Mack Commercial LLC is no ordinary real estate broker. She has more than 2 decades of real estate experience with sales and property management. She can help you navigate the booming Seattle real estate market to find golden properties, houses, or condos that are best suited to lease as a yearly residence or vacation rental. Whether you want a short-term investment or one that generates income for years, Holly Furin can help you find the best property and negotiate the purchase. Then she'll market your home to prospective renters and screen tenant applications. By standing between you and the tenant, emotion is removed from the equation. You're not looking for a new best friend. You're looking for someone who will pay rent on time, maintain the property, and be a respectful neighbor. Holly Furin's tenants' rent checks have never gone beyond 30 days past due. During your free consultation with Lynn Mack Commercial LLC, Holly will discuss your immediate needs and long-term goals. She'll deliver a comprehensive real estate investment plan custom tailored to work for you.
This is Holly Furin with Lynn Mack Commercial LLC. If you're interested in investing in Seattle area property, please contact me at 206-381-1438. That's 206-381-1438.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, August 17th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, flying solo. Keelan will be back next week, and we are your local mortgage experts. It is a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is all about, how to make money, save money, so that you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. And you're hearing right now our show with my guest, Celine. And if you'd like to connect with her, you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or online at themoneyhour.com. And Celine, we were talking about health and wellness and productivity. And so there's a reason why they say wealth or health and wealth are side by side, because you have to be healthy, feel good about yourself to be able to produce at the highest level, correct?
Yes, and nowadays you don't even have a choice. Have you seen the cost of healthcare lately?
Yeah.
This is now the number one reason why people become bankrupt.
Yeah. So you have to really, really keep that health up and keep yourself in the best space possible. So let's talk about when you hear in diet books the concept of the, let's just have a cheat day. What do you think about that cheat day?
I really get annoyed.
Yeah.
Let's be serious. Who are we cheating?
Yeah.
Why the unnecessary guilt? We are all human. If you are 30, you have more than a quarter of a century of eating habits. In my case, I have more than half a century of eating habit. We don't change that within a few seconds. And when you are embracing a lifestyle change, let's be patient. Let's be compassionate. I like the approach of Dr. Hinsdale, the creator of the Complete Health Improvement Program. His program is realistic and based on compassion. I do not believe in guilt. I do not believe in shaming people. I do not believe in rigid and inflexible programs that stress out people. I believe in love and compassion.
Yeah, well said. And it's kind of like, and you know, because you're currently in my coaching program right now, and I've talk about rejoicing in your small successes, and also talk about creating a habit. And when I was listening, when I made this question here, I wasn't really sure what your answer was going to be, but I was pretty confident in what you were going to say, because when you're trying to create a new habit, you can't just take a break, because what happens when you take a break, you will never create that new habit. And that's really what a cheat day is. It's allowing you to just completely take a break from that. Whereas if you just make those best decisions and the small decisions that are manageable, I always talk about, too, crash diets don't work because they're not sustainable. You need to find something that is going to be sustainable, that you enjoy through that process. So great advice there. Celine, what other services do you offer?
So in addition to my corporate offering, I offer one-on-one coaching. And the one-on-one coaching is I work with individuals based on where you are at. I will not give you a cookbook. I will not give you some kind of menu. We talk, we understand, we figure out what do you want to do and what can you do based on your lifestyle. I have customers who've decided they just want to change the breakfast. We work on that. It takes them whatever number of weeks they want to take it to find a breakfast that they enjoy, that they can continue on eating. And there is one key word in the work that I do: sustainable. Yes. When I'm done with you, whatever you've learned, you're going to keep it for a lifetime. I offer also something that I call a 10-day challenge for people who are plant curious and don't quite know what to eat, what to do. Come. There is a 10-day challenge based on the food that one of the wonderful company in the movement is doing, Plant Pure Nation. And I'll help you also supplement that with, I don't like the word supplement, so erase this.
Yes.
I'll help you make it powerful, because I'll teach you how to make some healthy salad dressing, a healthy breakfast, some healthy dessert. So when you go to the 10-day challenge, you are equipped.
Yeah. So I've heard you talk a little bit about healthy dessert, and I've never asked you, but I'm going to ask you right now, because I'm sure anybody that's listening wants to know, what is a healthy dessert? I mean, what are the main ingredients of a healthy dessert for us sugar people like me?
Okay. My first replacement for sugar is date. Here is the information on date. If you take 100 gram of date and 100 gram of sugar, sugar is 377 calories, pure carb, get your kidneys and your system in overdrive. All it gives you is the sweet taste. 100 gram of dates is 277 calories. Already you have the calorie reduction in here. And it's 18% of your daily fiber intake, and it has vitamins and minerals. So when you have that desire for sweet, reach out for the dates. Reach out for some fruits. Reach out for some figs. And yesterday, actually, with one of my customers, we made some brownies with dates.
Okay.
100% chocolate powder and walnuts and a little bit of clove and cinnamon. And then we enjoyed it with some raspberries. It was delicious.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be excited to see you next time and try one of those.
Okay.
That sounds amazing. So what else can people expect from one-on-one coaching with you?
Personalize.
Yeah.
It's about you. What works for my husband is not going to work for you. That's it.
Yeah, and it's really, and that's what the benefit of one-on-one coaching versus group coaching. Group coaching is nice because it's typically a more affordable process or setting to go in. You do have the collaboration and the support of the people that are in the group, but you're never going to get what you get out of a one-on-one coaching, and that's just exactly what you said, because it's really tailored and specific to exactly where you're at, what your needs are, and the space and the support that you personally need. So very important. So I see that you have your husband here, which it was really great to meet John virtually yesterday, and then to see him here coming into studio. And John, so it's really exciting to have you here as well. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And so when you told me that he was 70 years old, that's a little shocking, because you definitely, John, do not look like you're 70. And so, John, can you share a little bit about your experience in being a part of what Celine is doing here?
Gladly. 2 years ago, if we met, you wouldn't probably recognize me. I was 60 pounds heavier, and I was very addicted to sugar and salt. Wherever we ate, you'd see me going back for seconds, maybe thirds. And with this program, Lifestyle Medicine, I was able to get off of sugar as an addiction, get off of processed food. And the astounding thing was I worked with my physician specifically so that we could measure blood, sputum, and feces on a 6-month basis every 6 months, because we had 50 biomarkers that we came up with to look at the prevention of all the major chronic diseases.
Okay.
And we went and saw things move from the red to the yellow to the green over the 2-year period. So it's not just about how I look, it's about the lab work.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy to show you the lab work sometime. I know it's quite boring, but it's fascinating to see those things change. The other thing was getting off medication. I'd probably be taking my cholesterol medication before a meal or something like that if we were together before, and now no medication for cholesterol. I had been on it for 25 years. The other thing I would see as a major difference is my energy level.
Yeah.
When you weigh that much more, it's just more work to move around. And now I'm in Pilates classes and specific movement classes at the Y, along with exercise and aerobics, so that it's just a blast to do it. It's a lot of fun, and I am doing it almost every day.
Well, and I wouldn't say that the labs would be boring, because logic is important. We talked about this yesterday, Celine, as well as the story and the emotional side and having that balance. So you've got the proof of this is what it looks like, of what it has done for me. And I'd love to ask you a question on that, John, because I think people think that if you are really addicted to one type of food, that it means you're always going to feel that addiction, but really it's not. If you can get through that hard part and start creating different habits around better foods, you don't really miss the sugar, do you?
No, absolutely. The amazing thing for me was probably 6 months out from the program. It was my taste. I realized my taste buds changed. I'm sure it was a gradual process, but once your taste buds change, your cravings decrease, and they just keep on decreasing. That's what makes this whole program sustainable.
Yeah,
is that you're really wired to eat the right things. And I'm basically at a weight that was probably a year after I graduated from high school.
Wow, that is so amazing. At 70 years old, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And 60 pounds heavier and getting into a next journey in your life as far as age, when those health things are more apt to come up, that just brings in the stress of the what if. Right. And that's going to just naturally make it even more likely that you're going to come down, get something. And so it's really great that you're in a position that you can be happy and healthy and maximize the time that you have with your wife because of the space that you're in. And so beautiful. I'm so glad, Celine, that you brought John in today. Thank you so much. So, John, what would you tell people that are thinking about life changes?
I would say go slow and eat food that you really like. I think what Celine made it. I love crunchy food.
Uh-huh.
And she made sure that the first thing that I started on were her crunchy waffles. I hadn't had waffles for 25 years because I'd always been thinking low carbs, high protein and all this, so no carbs. And the fact that I could actually eat a waffle and it was crunchy, I couldn't believe it. And so that helped me really get wired to do things right, because I when you eat the wrong food, you're limited.
Yes.
What you eat is very limited.
Yes.
And you don't realize it. You're just in, habits that go over time. So I would say to people, go slow, eat things you really like, and eat food that loves you back.
Yes, eat what you like or eat what you love and eat what loves you back. That is so great. And that's why the one-on-one personal attention is so important, because just like your husband, John is explaining, it just really had to be unique and specific to him. So I love that. And we are going to stay right here with Celine, but we're going to take it to a break first. And coming up next from the Money Hour, more conversation with Celine right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW after this short break.
You may have noticed our community is experiencing a homeless crisis like never before. But what you might not know is that homeless families, especially mothers with children, are on the rise. They're one of the fastest growing groups right now. They are unsafe on the streets, and although they may not be visible, they are out there and they need our help. Mama's Hands is changing lives in our community through the House of Hope. It's a shelter for women and children in need. House of Hope provides not only support services, but a home-like environment for these families. After they graduate from the program, House of Hope staff continue to keep the families engaged and supported through a whole year-long aftercare program.
I'm Kimberly Jackson, Director at Mama's Hands. We would love to have you get more involved in helping homeless families and individuals in crisis in our community. Please visit our website at mamashands.org. That's MAMMASHANDS.org, mamashands.org. Thank you.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, August 17th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, flying solo. Keelan will be back next week. We are your local mortgage experts. We bring into studio each week the best of the best in all areas regarding your financing so that you can have a great life with your family. And if you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to connect you with the guests that we have on the show. You can call in at 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com and continue conversation with Celine of Dances with Foods. Today's show is all about health and productivity and having so much fun with you, Celine. And it fits so perfect. The show is called The Money Hour. And the reason I named it The Money Hour is because I really wanted to bring all experts in that had anything to do with finances so people could live the life that they want to live. Well, you have to be healthy in order to be able to maximize in any of those areas of finance. So just a really important conversation. Now, we were talking about 3 points in your process, and I'd like to start out with assessment. Can you go into a little bit more detail about the assessment stage?
Thank you, Tina. When I walk in the company, the first assessment I do is I look at the environment. I look at your vending machine. What is your vending machine telling you? If that vending machine is loaded with food that are not healthy, it tells me you don't have a culture of well-being. So I'll work with you so that we change those vending machines. For example, we're going to apply one of the principles of customer success where we make good habit convenient and bad habit inconvenient. For the employees who are going to yell and scream that they don't have their soda, we will put it in a place that is very inconvenient.
Yes.
And we will put the good food, the healthy food, very, very convenient for employee. The second part of the assessment is the people assessment, where I will let employees self-report on their health and the level of productivity. We can then benchmark it against the result from the IHPM to see what are your employees telling you about their productivity based on their health. The beauty is, at the end of my program, you can measure it. Employee ABC reported that they were in poor health, and they believed their productivity was at 46% lower. At the end of the program, we should see that needle move.
Yes.
If it didn't move, I was not successful.
Yeah, yeah. So let's go to the second point, which is education. What's that look like?
The education is, I'll provide in the company where I'm working some group classes based on products that have shown the result. One of the class that I facilitate, that I teach, is called the Complete Health Improvement Program, CHIP. By the way, this is a program that Providence Regional Medical Center, a $2.3 billion hospital with more than 3,000 employees, they offer that for their employees, and they offer that to patients who are in cardiac rehab. Why do you want to wait to be in cardiac rehab to have your employees go through that? So I use this program to educate, and I also leverage the beautiful work that Plain Pure Nation, Nelson Kimball and his team are doing to educate the employees. But remember, if I give you a book, the best written book on swimming, you can read it all you want, you still don't know how to swim.
Yes.
Comes the third part of my program, the empowerment.
Yeah.
Which is where we're going to talk about your food. We're going to play with the food. We're going to taste the food. We're going to experiment it together.
Yeah.
So in the group class, I'll do some quick demos. You experience one of them, the ketchup. Yesterday, for example, we created how to make a jam based on dates using different spices. And then when I leave a company, I do the support. I will help them create an employee resource group. Those are the people who are going to facilitate the movement inside the company to ensure that everybody's on the same wavelength. They're going to do some 10-day challenges. They're going to ensure that they have brochures, and they're going to ensure that they support each other. Programs like Alcoholic Anonymous, or I won't even name the other one, they work because of the group support. I call it the tribe support.
Yes. Yeah, they're building that community. They've got that camaraderie. They've got that accountability. Sometimes you just want to be better for yourself for someone else. You really need to be better for yourself first. But if a lot of times that helps people to get there, is somebody else is there as well, so they feel that accountability. And so, yes, the groups are so powerful. And I would guess that the majority of people, if you ask them if you could make it convenient and enjoy the food, would they want to know how to have a healthier lifestyle? And I can't see anybody that would say no. It's getting people to see that it can be convenient. And on that note, because I know when we had our conversation, you were talking about prepared food, because I think that's the biggest thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but why people are intentionally eating things that they know they shouldn't eat, when if something else was there, they probably would consider that before stopping at that fast food. It's because of the convenience. So let's talk about the prepared food and what that looks like.
So you have in America less than 25% of the household who cook at home. The other one, they don't. They eat out. The beauty now is more and more companies are jumping in there to provide food that are healthy. One of them, and I work closely with them, is Plain Pure Nation. They offer 20 different entries, whole food plant-based, that are very tasty. I still have to add a little bit spices because I cook.
Yeah.
But working with this type of companies where you can now tell people you do not have to be stressed out, you don't have to know how to cook. It's there, it's done. Go and leverage it and buy some salad. You don't have time to chop? All the supermarkets now offer some vegetables that are pre-cut, clean. All you have to do is open a box and eat.
Yes.
We should be able to do that.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's talk a little bit more about your 10-day challenge and what that looks like.
Yeah. So the 10-day challenge that I offer is For people who are plant curious, for 10 days, you are going to get your 20 frozen entries from Plant Pure Nation. But before the challenge, I invite them to take a 2-hour class with me where you learn to make 1 healthy breakfast, 2 salad dressing, 2 dessert, and I strongly encourage the people participating in the 10-day challenge to have the biometrics done so that you can compare the before and after.
Powerful.
The result in 10 days, to see that by just dropping the sugar, the processed food, decreasing the animal protein and all, you can see your biomarkers there. And you also are going to see how you feel. I love that concept of the 10-day challenge because people, you eat food that you've selected, and I teach you how to make it healthy because I'll point you to some spices to learn. It's a good way to get started.
So you've got the balance, you've got the facts, which is going to work with the logical side of why you're making a decision, and then you've got the emotional side, which is how you're feeling and how you're looking and all of that, which is a beautiful thing. So family, if you're in a significant other relationship, spouse, I would imagine it has to be really important. It would probably have been more difficult for John to go through this process if you weren't there supporting and living the lifestyle. So if you have a spouse or significant other, would you encourage the importance that they go through this together, or at least you have to definitely have the buy-in, right?
No,
okay.
Let's say when I made the choice that I was going to go whole food plant-based, and I went in 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was how long before John started in?
He started 3 months after me.
Okay.
So I'm the one who cooks at home. So what I did for him is I respected him. He's an adult. And after I have gone through that and figure out my own routine and have it under control, because it could be very stressful, I approached him. I shared with him the data. I invited him kindly. I didn't nag. I didn't push. I let it be his decision. So women or husband out there, if you've chosen to go that route, please respect your spouse who is not ready. And find your tribe somewhere else. And when you get used to it yourself and everything is working, that your spouse, husband or wife, will see the results.
Yes.
And invite them gently. And if you are the cook, make the food about them. If they like the food spicy, make it spicy. If they like it crunchy, make it crunchy. Find how they like that food in such a way that they are happy transitioning with you.
Yeah, great advice. So the one-on-one coaching that you do, what does that plan typically look like as far as time that they're spending with you?
Here is my philosophy. I do not want anybody to spend more than 6 months with me. Because you want your health back, I don't want you to be my residual income. After 6 months, you should be free. Because after 6 months, no more than 6 months, I usually have seen my best success story was done in 3 months. I work with you to create that foundation of your lifestyle, and then you grow on your own.
Yeah. Okay. So as we're wrapping up our time here together, Celine, what's something else, one thing that you would like to share with our listeners?
Thank you, Tina. It's been a real pleasure being here and sharing my passion with the people of the Pacific Northwest. If you are an individual listening to me, please know the following. When it comes to your health, it is not the responsibility of your spouse. It is not the responsibility of your doctor. It is your responsibility. Why don't you come, let's talk, and see how you empower yourself. And if you are a corporation between 30 and 1,000 employees, this is my target audience. Boeing, I'm not there for you, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Not yet. Thank you, I like that. If employees' absenteeism is high, if health and productivity are low, and you really want to improve productivity and profitability, then please implement a program that creates a culture of health and well-being which empowers your employees. It's about empowerment. The definition of power in the Webster Dictionary is the ability to act. Mm-hmm. You have the power for your health. Thank you.
Well said, Celine. And for the employers out there, show your employers that you care. You care about them, you care about their health, and you care about their family. And this is Tina Mitchell signing off for the day. Your host, I'll be here same place, same time next weekend. Keelan will be back right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. Have a great weekend.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, and MLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC.